Hello everybody and welcome back to Sweet and Crafty. Mama Z's here. We are back with another compilation video in which we are going to feature 3 of our original Gingerbread Man Cookie decoration character transformation videos. Dedicated to Sonic this time. We prepared Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this compilation video. This character has been highly requested to be transformed into a giant gingerbread man cookie. So, introducing Sonic! Well, Sonic the Hedgehog is not really yet here. But we are going to transform this giant cookie into Sonic. And here are the ingredients that we will need for this cookie transformation. Lots of fondant. I used a white frosting and custom made the following colors. We have blue, tan, and red colors. A writing gel of green, black colors, and I also have this darker green shade. Variety of baking tools as well as edible markers. Candies for decoration. Here I have some Christmas candies too. Pictures of Sonic the Hedgehog for inspiration. Tray. And of course, giant gingerbread man cookie. And don't forget to protect your working space since this activity will get sticky and messy. Our cookie is already out of the box. Thankfully, it came in one piece because we did have surprise in the past when I opened up the box and cookie was all broken. And this cookie smells absolutely delicious. So I have this super old notebook that I use with a bunch of cookie designs, and here is Sonic design as a cookie. We are going to start with the bottom, and I'm going to be using this red frosting for Sonic's shoes. Sonic and I have something in common. Sonic is super fast and energized, and I feel extra energized on days when I drink lots of coffee. I wish I didn't drink lots of coffee today because my hands are shaky. Taking my tool and spreading the frosting. Next, I'm taking white frosting and adding white bottom to his shoes, as well as white strap and white socks. To make his socks look more realistic, I'm going to be adding these white pearl candies on top. Next, I'll be using these pumpkin candies of yellow color and add it as the shoe detail. Okay, now we are going to put a cookie aside and work with fondant. So I'm going to warm up the fondant and roll it pretty flat, but also not too thin, because I am going to cut out the shape of Sonic's head spikes. The excess fondant I'm going to place around his head for support. I know it kind of looks funny for now, but trust the process. I'm gonna use a little bit more fondant and make his ears out of it. I just wanted to show you that I am making a little indent inside of his ears. This way they do look like real ears. Now, as we have our base and shape of his head and ears, I'm going to paint everything blue. I won't be painting his hands because he is wearing white gloves. Going to use my plastic knife and spread the frosting around. For extra definition, I'm going to add this blue sparkle gel. Okay, next I'm going to paint his white gloves. Okay, next I'm going to add his chest and his mouth and nose area, and I think this is a pretty close color match. Next, I'm taking my bold tool and carefully spreading this frosting. I want to make sure that the colors not going to mix. Same color I'm going to add inside of his ears, but I will outline it with black color also to add shadows. Next, I'll be using this pretty sharp tool, and I will gently blend these colors together, not mix them, but just blend so it looks like there is shadow in his ears. With the gentle strokes, I'm adding fur to his tummy. I'm going to add some more of these white pearl candies to his gloves. Next, using more fondant to make his eyes. Carefully placing his eyes down on top of the cookie. For his nose, I'll be using this black skeleton candy. Next, I'm going to paint his green eyes with this green gel. And on top, I'm going to add a little bit of lighter green. I was going to use these white pearly candies for the light reflection in his eyes, but decided to use these white stars instead. To outline his eyes, I'm going to use this blue sparkle gel. And now it looks like he has brows. And we are officially finished. Here is Sonic the Hedgehog transformation into a giant gingerbread man cookie. After I posted Sonic's gingerbread man cookie transformation, I got tons of comments of y'all asking me to transform gingerbread man cookie into tails. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I even matched my nail color today to go with the color theme. For this transformation, we will need the following ingredients: lots of fondant, white frosting, and gel colors. And actually, I'm not gonna need many colors today. I custom made this golden yellow color, and then I have some white. I also have black, blue, and red sparkle gels, baking tools, edible markers, as well as variety of candies for decoration. Pictures of Miles' tails for inspiration. Here's my giant gingerbread man cookie tray, and I won't get tired from repeating the same phrase over and over again. Do not forget to protect your working space, since this activity will get sticky and messy. Step 1, let's go ahead and remove our cookie, and I'm going to do it super fast because, you know, Sonic. So we will need to use lots of fondant, as you see, because, well, tails has 2 tails, face, ears, then we have some hair spikes right there. Usually I start with the feet, but I decided to go ahead and add some details like tail, whiskers, and ears right away, and I'm gonna be using fondant, obviously. It will give us a good base, and then after that I can go ahead and paint everything with frosting and gel colors. Roll the fondant. I'm not going to make it too thin. Taking my baking knife next and cutting out the shape of 2 tails. Next, ears and whiskers. Next, let's go ahead and place everything next to a cookie. We'll start with tails, next ears. I think I'm going to add his hair strands a little later, but I'm just gonna put one right there because it looks perfect. And his little mustache slash whiskers. Looking good. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a few of his little hair strands. There we go. Next step would be his shoes. I'm gonna use this red gel as well as white frosting for his sneakers. Let's spread the gel nice and smooth. I like working with these sparkle gels because they give the surface more of an even coat, and also they're sparkly, so I love it. Next, I'm going to paint the top of the shoe with white frosting. The bottom I'm going to paint with black sparkle gel. I want to add these silver star candies to the bottom of his sneakers. Okay, next step, I'm going to paint his body as well as his head with this golden yellow frosting. Oh wait, almost forgot. His tail and his ears also. Alright, so I think the color is perfect. Now we are going to spread all the frosting around. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and add more white to the tips of his tails, as well as his gloves, and what else? Oh, and his belly. And next, we're going to do some blending work. But I have to be very careful because the coat under is still wet, and if I mix it too much, then we are going to get like yellowy tone on top. His belly is pure white, so I gotta make sure the white stays white. Next, I'm taking the sharper side of this tool and doing a little streaks to make it look like his fur. Next, I am gonna go ahead and add a blue stripe right there. Some images that I found online, this stripe is gray, and the movie images it's blue. Next, I'm going to use these eyeball candies, the other side, and place them right here to divide his glove with his fur. And here's something funny. In the toy version, we have it opposite. So blue on the bottom and then gray right here. Now on this picture we have gray here and here. In the movie version we can't even see anything on the bottom, but we do have blue right there. You can actually see it better right there. So you know what? I'm gonna do the following thing. I'm going to add blue. After, I'm going to add white candies. And in between, I'm going to add some silver snowflakes. Looking good. Let's go ahead and put the cookie aside and add his eyes made out of fondant. Let's see if his eyes going to fit well. Next, I'm just taking my little knife and smoothing the edges and getting rid of some extra fondant that we don't need. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of white in the middle and add his black nose, and this black skull candy is a perfect fit. Next, I'm thinking between either using black sparkle gel or black edible marker for his smile. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use black edible marker. Let's add his big blue eyes next. Carefully adding black in the middle. And I'll add this white snowflake as the light reflection. Something is missing. I think that something is the lash line. So I'm gonna use my black edible marker and carefully add lash line just to define his eyes. I am considering giving him a wider smile. And we cannot forget about his little hair strands right there. I'm going to add just a little bit of black right here in the center of his ear, just so I can add a little bit of shadow and make his ears look a little bit more realistic. Taking my little tool and spreading and kind of mixing these two colors together. I know if you're looking at the cartoon or game version, He doesn't have black in his ears, but if we are looking at the movie version, we definitely see more black and gray inside of his ears. This way it creates more depth and looks more realistic. And Miles, who is also known as Tails, is officially transformed into a giant gingerbread man cookie. Oh, wait a minute. Gingerbread Man Cookie is transformed into Tails. And now we have Sonic and Tails giant gingerbread man cookies. Today we are going to transform this absolutely delicious and giant gingerbread man cookie into Knuckles from the new episodes. In the past, we created gingerbread man cookie inspired by Sonic and Tails. And it only makes sense to create cookie for Knuckles next. And these are the ingredients that we will need for this transformation. Lots of fondant, white frosting, and gel colors. And I pre-made the following custom colors: cherry red, tan, yellow, and green. Black sparkle gel. I also have green and purple gels. More sparkle gels, blue, red, green, and white. Not sure we're gonna need all of them, but I just picked up a new pack. Large variety of candies. I also have some silver candies right here. I'm very excited to use these. I just picked them up as well. Then I have my baking tools as well as edible markers, tray, and giant cookie. And as I say in all of our gingerbread man cookie videos, don't forget to protect your working space, as this activity will get sticky and messy. Okay, let's begin. First, we are going to fill my studio room with the delicious gingery smell. As soon as I open the package, I can smell it. It smells so good. Reminds me of all sorts of holidays, especially Christmas. Okay, so here's the cookie. It's not really flat, but we'll make it work. I always like to create a little design what the cookie will kind of look like. Literally, this notebook is filled with all sorts of cookie designs. I also have some images of Knuckles that I have collected online just to kind of get an idea what I want my cookie to look like. Some details like his purple eyes. We're going to start with his shoes. First, I'm going to add the green section. It almost looks like a sock right here. And then we're going to add red front, red back, silver bottom, and yellow in the middle right here. So let's go ahead and get started. I like to use my baking tool and spread the frosting between each layer and every detail. I did make red frosting, however, I want to see if this red sparkle gel gonna look better. It actually looks really nice. Next, I'm going to fill in the rest of the shoe area with the yellow frosting. So we're gonna leave his shoes as is for now before we add the candies. I do wanna cover most of the cookie with red. We are going to leave his hands and arms as is, as well as this section, because we are going to be adding tan color here and white here. But most of the cookie we can go ahead and paint with red frosting, or I shall say more of a cherry red frosting. Going to use this tool next to spread the frosting, and I think we may need to add a little bit more, like a second layer, just to make sure nothing is patchy and we have nice even coat. It actually looks pretty good, but what I want to do is take this little semi-sharp tool and scratch it lightly like this to make it look like his fur. And it kind of gives like a 3D texture effect. Next, we are going to add white moon looking patch to Knuckles' chest. And very gently I'm going to do the same, just to add a little fur effect. But again, very, very gently, because I do not want to mix two colors together. With the same white color, I'm going to add his white gloves. I do want to make them bigger, so I'm gonna kind of outline with a little bit more of frosting around the cookie as well. Okay, next we are going to do some work with the fondant. We are going to add his, I don't even know what is it called, it's not hair. We are going to add these sections to his head. I want to call it hair, but it's not really hair, fur, ears, whatever that is. So I'll use fondant, and after that we're going to add eyes as well. And after that we are going to paint his mouth section with a tan color fondant. When working with fondant, it's very important to make sure it's nice and soft, almost like a doughy consistency. Once it's all warmed up, I'm going to start molding the sections that are going to be added to his head. Also, while I have this white fondant out, I'm going to add 4 triangles that are going to look like his claws. Next, I'm taking this red gel and going to paint the white section that we just added. Let's put the cookie aside, and we are going to roll white fondant and then cut out the shape of his eyes. Next, I'm going to add purple. I was going to use the marker, edible marker, but I think I should be able to use this purple gel just as long as I'm very, very careful. Okay, and next I'm going to add his mouth and nose area. Next, I'm going to add these 2 white star candies into his eyes as a light reflection. And for his nose, I'm gonna use this black skull candy. Perfect. Okay, let's take a little break, and we are gonna go back to his shoes. I'm going to add the silver candy carefully to the bottom of his shoes. It will take me a while because these candies are very small. Also, I do have this tool, so I may just use it for easy application. Next, for this section that resembles the shoelaces, I will use different kind of silver candies. Let's see. These little stars right here. Next detail, probably going to be pretty challenging. I'm going to add his smile and make his brows a little bit like angry with more red frosting right here. I think he needs a little bit more of volume. Let me just try to add a little bit on his head. And I think Knuckles is all finished and looking really, really good as a cookie. And I did a pretty good job showcasing all the details. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below which character from Sonic is your favorite. And subscribe to Sweet and Crafty for more crafty videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye!